So, I've thought of a new series that, while it may not be original, I'm going to make my own original take on it. I'm going to start a series called War Thunder Weekly News. Now, yes, this has been done before, but basically the layout that I have made is that I will go through the news posted by Gaijin day by day from the past week. And then afterwards will be a section with one story about speculations, data leaks, or what have you. Everything I say, I will back up with as much evidence as I can, and any of the leaks that I don't seem as fully truthful, I will make sure to let you know that. The reason why I'm doing this is, well, I noticed that people aren't watching gameplay as much as they used to, and they'd rather watch informational videos. So I got such a positive feedback from this idea when I talked about it with my friends, that I decided to roll with it. Now, I may not be the best at editing, but I'm certainly going to try my best. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Now, on Monday, a surprising news post was made by Gaijin. Let's look here. So, let's see. New repair and damage mechanics in ground vehicle realistic battles. So, according to plan, we plan to change the critical damage mechanics by adding quick field repair, available at all times for all vehicles. A disabled engine entirely blocks a vehicle's movement for 20 seconds, after which 40% of the original function is restored. A disabled transmission entirely blocks the vehicle's movement for 20 seconds, after which gear shift range is reduced by half. A disabled traverse gear blocks turrets or guns from rotating for 15 seconds, after which their rotation speed is limited to 3 degrees per second. A disabled elevation gear limits the gun elevation range to 1.5 degrees up or down from the position of the gun in which it was damaged. So basically, if your gun was up here in the sky, it could only go so far up and so far down afterwards. A destroyed barrel inflicts significant penalties when fired. A 20-fold increase in shot dispersion, and shells have been 2 times less armor piercing and muzzle velocity. So basically, when your barrel is destroyed and you fire a round, even if you do get that lucky hit, it probably won't do much. And that was it for Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. Now, on Tuesday, we actually got 2 pieces of news. So let's see here. So the first piece of news was the authentic decals that we get every month, as usual. So let's check them out real quick. So this one, Alright. This one appears to be the badge of 133rd Tank Battalion of the Russian Federation, so that's cool. To get this, you need to gain 7 victories whilst taking the first place in the team and driving Soviet ground vehicles, or you can purchase it for 200 gold eagles. Next is the emblem of the 14th Infantry Division of Japan. Play 5 battles and achieve a score of at least 2,000 whilst driving Japanese ground vehicles. The next one is emblem of the 51st Battalion of the French Armored Forces. Capture 25 zones whilst driving French ground vehicles. So yeah, it's just a shield. That one kind of looks like those weird throwing stars. That's kind of cool. Then the next one is the Tomo personal motif of Major Sergeant? I don't know. Sakamoto of the 47th Sentai Imperial Japanese Army Air Force of 1944. So to get this, you need to destroy 50 enemy players whilst flying Japanese aircraft, or you can also purchase this one for 200 gold eagles. This one is probably the most creative. Blow Your Mind emblem, 121st Assault Helicopter Company, Sok Trang, 1969 USA. So here we have them shown on the vehicles. They only show 2 for some reason, but they're still pretty cool. And then next, Gaijin put out a video, naval battles. With update 1.83, War Thunder naval battles are finally alive. So basically, Naval Battles 101 is just a video going over what naval combat is in War Thunder, and I believe there was some in there about what the future of naval battles is going to be like. I'm not going to play the video, that's for you to watch. Now, on Wednesday, we went back to the just one piece of news, which was the tournaments for November 17th and 18th. Basically just the weekend tournaments that come out every week. I don't remember them usually coming out on Wednesday, but I don't know, they might. I don't pay attention to them at that much. But yeah, if you wanted to sign up for some tournaments, here you go. It might be a bit late now, but hope the best of luck to all those who participated, I guess. Then on Thursday, we had... something's going on my recording system. We had Minefield Ahead. So Minefield Ahead was it's still going on from the 12th of GMT on the 15th of November till 7 GMT on the 19th of November. Win 7 times with a battle activity of 50% or higher in naval battles whilst controlling a ship, and get a 24-hour rental for the Mine Layer Hydrofoil VS8. Shell 1. So this is an entirely new boat, from what I can tell, except it has these mines that you can lay on the battlefield. Now, what I've heard is that they aren't very useful. I think they're pretty cool. I'd like to see them in the game as a regular mechanic. But yeah, keep in mind, they're just not as useful. And then down here, I noticed something, reply to this guy. This is playing for a rental. Hope this is a joke. The VS8 Shell 1 is a premium machine, and we wanted to test out the mines first before releasing the vehicle for sale. So this probably confirms that this will be coming out either on the store or in-game for Golden Eagles. On Friday, we only had the War Thunder Thunder Show. So I'm not going to play the Thunder Show for obvious reasons. But it's probably just the same, what was it, 4 video clips as before. Well, not the same video clips, but the same layout. So go ahead and watch that if you want. These aren't too interesting for me, but it's a thing, so. Now, on Saturday, we actually had quite an interesting video. So it is I guess you could call it a cinematic. They've done these before, but it's talking about the BF-109, both in War Thunder and kind of in real life. It's less talking about it and more just showing off the kinds of BF-109s in the game, and also a few quotes from history, which I thought was really cool. Really well done video by them. And on Sunday, we had the shooting range, like we do every time. So, for the shooting range, let's see. It's a really... here we go. In the video, they had 3 segments, more on the Corsair in its last fight, a guide through the Air SB mode, and looking forward and testing one of the newest British ships. Those were the 3 main stories that they had. And then they had the hotline, which is what I'm mainly going to go over. So the questions and answers for the hotline are as follows. Swedish Style 97 asked, hi, is there something you can say about the new tech tree / nations that you were working on? And a little bit of backstory behind this. In their new timeline that they put out on their website, in the What's Next section, they put out new nations coming to the game. New game nations. So I'm a supporter of the Swedish nation actually coming because they have the most content. But whatever works for them. And then to which Bruce replied, we actually can't for now. They can't tell us. But you'll be hearing from us quite soon regarding the next update, so keep your eyes peeled. Then there we go. The next question was from Omar. T72 when? And to which Bruce replied, can't tell you exactly when, but it will be in the game for sure. So, kind of just confirmed that the T72 will be in game. We just don't exactly know when. The next question was from Akmetexo. I hope I got that right. Can we expect a Vietnam-based tank map? To which Bruce replied, we are planning to stop making more maps anytime soon. Tank 1's included. So Vietnam is also a possibility. So we might get a Vietnam-based tank map in the future. And the last question was just kind of a funny one, as I usually do. Can we see a question from you in the hotline, Bruce? And then Bruce said, that's called abuse of power, conflict of interest. I'll try to stick to your questions for now. And then, yeah, that's the hotline. Now on to the last part of the video. As some of you may know, there has been a supposedly leaked list of jets vehicles for top tier. Now keep in mind that these leaks, they don't exactly have as much evidence to back them up. So anything I say here could be false. So let's see. I've got my list out right here. List goes as follows. For USA, first off, we have the F4A Phantom, which is probably one of the more well-known for the era. And up next is the F4G, which is just, from my understanding, a later version of the F4 Phantom. And then next on the list is the F5A. In here it says the Tiger Freedom Fighter. So this one kind of looks odd with the engine layout, but it's still kind of cool. Next up is the F100 unspecified variants. We actually already have a model of this in the game. It is a user mission as well. The F101, which is the I can't help but laugh at the wings on this thing. It's a really stubby aircraft, but I like it. Next is the F104. I hope I didn't just mess these up. The F104, the F104A, and then the F104C. Next is the F105. So it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Tornado, the German jet, only a little bit though. And then the last one on this list so far for the Americans is the F111 Aardvark early model. So this would be a kind of a cool jet to see, as it has the swept wing concept, or not like the normal swept wings that you see, but wings that can fold back, and I assume that's for high speed engagements and then high altitude engagements. So next for USSR, we have the Su-7. So that would go in the Sukhoi line, which definitely needs some vehicles. And then the MiG-19. And it says here, in a folder with another plane that we don't know about, most likely first production MiG-19 and MiG-19S, which is the one with 30 millimeters. And then the next one is the MiG-21F. It says here, I was not told if it would have the what would be K-13 modification, which is what would turn it into the MiG-21F-13 to have K-13 and AA-2 ATOL missiles, and in turn drop one 30 millimeter and leave it with one. So yeah, that's just saying, like a modification, like they have for some of the tanks. I believe it's like the BMP, it turns into the BMP-1 once you research a certain modification. Then the next is the MiG-21 bis? Oh, sorry. MiG-23 early model. So this, from what I've heard, is actually a horrible jet, but that's for... yeah. We can't really tell until it's added into War Thunder, because there have been plenty of things in real life that were horrible, but are really good in game. Sorry, my list is a little bit... There we go. Next up is for Germany, the F-86K, which is just a beefed up Saber. It kind of looks like the G91 a little bit, but they are slightly different. Or not slightly, they are pretty different. And then it says the A4 Skyhawks. However, I couldn't find anything that said that the Germans ever operated the A4 Skyhawks. Argentina did, so maybe they're adding an Argentinian Skyhawk to the game for Germany. Although I doubt that. And then for Italy, the G91Y, which is a beefed up version of the G91 with a camera in the nose. So I'm wondering if that might be for some missile type. So that would be pretty cool to see. And then for France is the Mirage 3C and Tendard 4. So yeah. And then there's another part of the list, which is just continuation of USA and USSR, which is the A4 Skyhawk, this is for USA, variant unspecified, the F-86H Saber, and the F-86K Dog Saber. So those are all pretty cool. And then USSR, we have the IL-102, which is quite an interesting aircraft. It looks kind of like the IL-40, but less stupid. Then the MiG-17F. It's got a really weird... I'm assuming that's a radar in the nose. And then it says here, Britain has the Hunter F6, as well as the Hunter F5, and the Swift. And that concludes the entire list and the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed. This is kind of the first run of what I'm hoping to be a successful series. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.